Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight, so you don't have to. Man, these devs are giving me a lot of work to do this week, man. A lot of fucking work. I'm still sick. I'm still doing my regular job. The gym's kind of what's been getting sacked so I can do all this. Don't worry, I'm still gonna maintain my schedule, but I'm sick anyway, so I would rather make this video than go to the gym and be sick at the same time. Plus, that's kind of irresponsible to do, wouldn't you say? Yeah, sure. But anyway, enough about me. What y'all here for today, bruh? We knew this was coming, and alas, it is here. We have been blessed with the Dracula player test build, the PTB. It is up today, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as a console player, don't really have access to all that whole thingamajig shindig yet. I'm still considering the upgrade to PC at this point due to cross progression now being a thing. I should probably save up and get on that shit. However, that all being said, let's go ahead and break down what these assholes shat out. Would you like to? First of all, I'm nice. People forget that about me. I'm nice. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. If this power had leaked any time before I actually saw it, I would have told you this was fake. I'm just gonna say that right out the gate. There is a lot here, and because there's a lot here, there's so much potential for testing and synergies, etc. So can't really tell you much about what's good. I wish I had the PTBs at this point so I could do my own tests that I want to kind of figure out right away. However, the most essential thing I feel like we do already have a grasp on, which would be the perks, and we'll get to those in a minute here. But the power is more complex. I was actually memeing on this in my server the other day because I really thought this was just going to be some generic, stupid... It's something similar to Oni where he has to fill up some kind of blood meter and then he does something when the blood meter gets full. Something like that. Not the same as Oni, obviously. Like, he would have access to... Like, he'd be a basic 115 killer that has access to an ability once he fills up a blood meter. Or something, because he's like a vampire, so the drinking blood thing was... I thought for sure that's the lazy route that this company would go in designing a power. I am pleasantly surprised. Well, I know some people were saying that this isn't creative, but again, my bar... Some people were saying this looks underwhelming, isn't very creative. The bar I have for these devs is so low that anything that's not generic 115 trash to me is absolutely astounding. So... The design element actually does get a pass for me here. That all being said, this is Castlevania. I have to be honest. I could give a flying fuck about Castlevania. My exposure to Castlevania is Simon and Richter Belmont in Smash Bros. Ultimate. I honestly could give two shits about Castlevania. I didn't grow up with it. I never played any of the games. I don't care. I could give a rat's ass. Sorry. No nostalgia here for Castlevania. Much like Silent Hill. No nostalgia whatsoever. However, I do love me some Count Dracula. I do love me some Count Dracula, lads. Hang on a second here. Well, I'm gonna take y'all over here. Hold on. Get this right, can I? When I say I'm a fan of Dracula, bring y'all back up here now. Never done that before on camera. It's a little strange here. Okay, there we go. When I say I'm a fan of Dracula, I mean, like, Dracula. No, it's backwards, but the book. Yeah. The book. Maybe try reading sometimes, you stupid fucks. Might help you some good, especially if your name is Scott Jund, which we'll get there. But yeah. I first read this book when I was in the 6th grade. I have read this book multiple times. I'm a fan of the book. Which is why I found it really hysterical when I was baffled by some of the comments I was seeing about why is Dracula turning into a wolf? I don't care if it's in Castlevania. Read the book, dipshit. Read the fucking book, bro. That pissed me off a lot. Why does he turn into a wolf? That's stupid! Read the book, bro. Read the fuck. I don't care. I don't care if Alucard or Shiji card or Kooky card or Kooky Cucker Cutter card. I don't care which card does it in the Castlevania games. But man does it in the book. That's all you need to know. In the Bram Stoker book. That to me is what matters when it comes to Count Dracula. I am also a fan of the Lugosi, Christopher Lee performance, as well as the 1990 version with Gary Oldman in the star as Dracula. Even though Keanu Reeves in that has like the worst fake accent like ever. I am still a fan of that movie, and I think that is the very good big budget kind of interpretation of the movie. Very sexual movie, but a movie nonetheless. But like it's went into the character's DNA. And I also still have a love for vampires. I've seen things like Fright Night. Shit. What's that one called? It's really good. It's from the 80s. Lost Boys. Jesus Christ. Random vampires don't even know Lost Boys. Fright Night, Lost Boys, and then a very good addition to the genre was just released this year with Abigail. I enjoyed Abigail thoroughly. I thought that was a very good movie. At least, like, relative to a bunch of the other shit that comes out. Abigail gets a 2 thumbs up recommendation from me. We will be discussing Abigail someday. But anyway, that all being said, let's actually get to the shit that you all want to see, which are these fucking notes, and these patch notes, these perks, etc., etc. And I'll show you a little bit of Dracula gameplay from True's channel. True is the only content creator that is mainstream that I halfway trust, so that's the only person I will go to for shit like this. Like, he's the only one I relatively trust. So, the new survivor is Trevor Belmont. Apparently he's from some Netflix show. Again, I don't care. Let's just go over the perks. New perk, Eyes of Belmont. When a generator is completed, the aura of the killer is revealed to you for 3 seconds. Anytime the killer is shown for a period of time, its duration is increased by 2 seconds. It's like Dark Sense. And it gives you a little lethal pursuer effect where you get an additional fucking 2 seconds. Yeah, this is trash. I mean, it's not horrible, but like, there's nothing about it that really stands out. You get 2 seconds of bonus object time. Like, who cares? But I guess the perk does kind of feed into itself, kind of pretty much. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't have. Like, I thought it was an additional 2 seconds. Never mind. I thought this perk kind of like fed into itself. It doesn't. I mean, it does. Like, it does. Like you should get theoretically 5 seconds with that. I just thought it meant every gen you get longer aura reveal. Which, I mean, the perk is bad, but like that would at least be an interesting buff for it, I suppose. But no, the perk sucks. So, moving on. New perk, Exaltation. Stunning the killer with the pallet upgrades your held item rarity to the next tier and recharges 25% of the maximum charges. 30-second cooldown. I mean, you gotta stun the killer with the pallet. That can be very difficult depending on the matchup. And, the rewards you get is... I mean, it's okay. But, like, other stuff is... I mean, is this kind of what survivors want to be doing now? I mean, I don't know. Is it? Is your flashlight really worth upping its charges that much? Plus, with shit like flashbang, flashlights have been almost power crept. So this perk doesn't help you conserve flashbangs, which is, thank fucking God. But, like, there really is no fucking, like, I mean, it could be cute, I guess, but, like, there's always going to be something better than this. It's at least cute. Moment of Glory. The perk activates when you open or rummage through 2 chests. Okay. When you become injured, you become broken, automatically heal a health state after 60 seconds. Then this perk deactivates. This effect is canceled if you enter the dying state. This perk will not activate if you are already suffering from the broken status effect. So, things like Force Penance counter it. The thing is that 60 seconds is kind of a lot. However, I never want to see this perk buffed like ever. This perk's utility should be used as if the killer abandons chase on you, then you can get a free heal. Like, that's kind of what it should be. That's it. Like, this should never be I get hit and then, I can, like, fucking, like, get healed feasibly in the middle of chase. Obviously, the top tiers are fucking laughing at this fucking perk. The idea of somebody lasting 60 seconds in a chase against Nurse Blight and Spirit is... that's something that those characters are fucking laughing at. However, somebody like a Trapper or Freddy is a little bit more cautious when they read this. You never want to see that buff to even 40 seconds. That perk will be a problem if it is buffed to even 40 seconds. I'm dead fucking serious. At high level, that perk could be a problem if it is buffed. I wouldn't say it's an issue right now, especially since you have to rummage through 2 chests that will kick in the mid, like the early, like the not. It won't be in the early game. You'll never see this as the first chase you do, but like anywhere from the start of the mid game to the late game, you could see this pop up. Feasibly, by that point, you have a play with your food stack or some coup de grace tokens. So even against M1 at that point, they might not be able to live for 60 seconds. So again, I don't think it's a problem right this second. However, if that perk ever receives a buff, that could potentially become a much bigger problem, depending on what map you're on, how much is burned, what killer you are, etc., etc. Its best utility at this point is in 4v1, which is where it needs to stay. Like, however, the thing is, like, getting broken for 60 seconds, like, that could be a fucking nerf in a Survive with Friends, because Survive with Friends can fucking heal you so fucking quick that staying broken for 60 seconds, that might not even be worth it. That's how broken Survive with Friends is right now. Especially with things like Circle of Jerking will make it, being able to heal you in like 8 seconds. Yeah, being broken for 60 seconds is not even worth that in a Survive with Friends group. That's really fucking scary. So those are the Survivor shits. Not the greatest. Moment of Glory is definitely one to keep an eye on. If that ever receives a buff, that could become a problem. Dracula. We will skip the power for right now and come back to it. We'll go straight down to the perks. And then I do want to say a couple things about the things that are down here, but we'll skip right to the perks. We're going to skip his first perk for now, because that's the one everyone's talking about. We'll come back to that at the end. We'll get these loser ones out of the way. Human Greed. You see, get this, guys. You see unopened chests and auras of survivors are revealed to you for 3 seconds when they enter an 8-meter range. I'm assuming of the chest, and P-Nias just can't write. You also gain the ability to kick chests to close them. This ability has a 60-second cooldown. Survivors unlock these closed chests 50% faster. I read that, and I said, "Are you fucking baiting me right now? Are you fucking serious with that shit?" Not only does Behavior Interactive think that you, as a killer player, want to kick fucking chests closed. That's what they think you want right now. In a state of the game where gen control does not have a leg to stand on against anybody good. Because remember, the only build in this game that works right now at high level is endgame. Gen control doesn't have a foot to stand on. The build doesn't work anymore. It's hard to control gens against people that are good. They think that you want to kick open chests and close them. That is what this company thinks that you want to read on a killer perk. And you still think MMR is alive. Patrick would have never, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick would have never put something out this shit. Ever. You're gonna kick open the chest? I'm gonna kick the chest. Because I'm gonna kick it because then I can see their aura. I can get wall hacks. Are you fucking serious, bro? Chests. They think you give a fuck what the chests are doing on the map. Do I even need to say anything else here? And the best part about it is, not only is that ability laughingly garbage, laughingly shit, and has no high-level application at all. Not only does it have that, absolutely no application. Especially against good players that can, just rotate around the tile. If the tile is not mind-gameable, and they can see everything you're doing, or react to it when you, turn around, the fact that you have wall hacks doesn't really help you. And if you've played good players, you know what I'm talking about. But, I mean, they work sometimes. I mean, they're not terrible to have. But, like, the chests are RNG spawn dependent. Some of them spawn on hills and they're not even near tiles or anything. Like, the wall hacks ability is not even close there. This would be better if he could, like, place, like, a fucking trap or a goblin in there or something where they open the damn thing and jumps out at him and takes a hell state. That would be cute, and I could see people running that for fun. This ain't fun. This is stupid. Get wall hacks. There's way better ways to do that. I never thought I would sit up here and say I'm all ears is like something you should be running over this. You want wall hacks? Something like Hex Retribution is better than this. Like, if you want wall hacks, there's better ways to get that than praying to God a chest is nearby. This is fucking ridiculous. And the best part about the whole thing is, they put your ability to kick the chests, that is memeable and laughingly bad, on a 60-second cooldown. This is a development team that decided Surge no longer needed a cooldown. The perk Surge was powerful enough to not have a, like, it is not powerful enough to have a cooldown. Surge, a high tier perk. Eruption and Oppression both have a 40-second cooldown. Perks that actually help you at controlling generators. But the ability to kick a fucking chest, that has a 60-second cooldown. Are you fucking baiting me? I guess you are, I took it. Because I've ranted on this perk for probably 2 minutes. That is an embarrassing effect. That is an embarrassing effect that proves that rank-based matchmaking and rank-based matchmaking design philosophy is back in control. The Patrick Doctrine, as AQ calls it, is dead. MMR is dead. That is a fucking ridiculous. And yeah, it's not even funny. Like, put a goblin in a chest and it jumps out and takes a hell state. Like, that would be at least funny. This is retarded. Garbage. Next, dominance. The first time each totem and each chest is interacted with by a survivor, that totem or chest is blocked by the entity for 8 seconds. The auras of blocked totems and chests are revealed to you and why. What is with the fucking chests? Nobody cares, bro. Especially the killer. Especially the killer. The only time a perk related to chests was ever relevant was Pinhead running Hoarder for the box. And as soon as they nerfed the ability to see the box getting picked up on it, the perk was deleted from the build. Because it sucks. In 8 seconds, could they fucking spare it? Could you fucking spare us the 8 seconds of hex protection there? God fucking damn it, dude. Could you fucking spare it? That should be at least 30. No shit. That should be at least 30. No, I'm not even joking. At least 20. I would make that 30. At least fucking 20. And it should give you the killer a fucking noise notification that you've touched it. So they know that which totem has been found. An 8-second aura reveal in white? You're gonna miss that as killer because you're in chase. Or you're board managing. You could miss that going over to kick a generator. And it's in white. What a fucking stupid idea. I mean, it's not even the idea that's stupid. Just that value is laughingly low. You can't even run that to, like, protect Ruin. Because, like, you can't, you're not, like, Thrill of the Hunt is better. No shit. Thrill of the Hunt is significantly better than that. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. And lastly, the perk that has personally pissed me off the most is a lie perk. It's one of those lie perks that reads okay, but then you start thinking about it and it's terrible. Hex Wretched Fate. After one generator has been repaired, a random dull totem becomes a hex totem and curses the Obsession. The Obsession has a 33% repair speed penalty. Also, this hex totem's aura... They also see this hex totem's aura within 12 meters. This effect persists until the Hex Totem is cleansed. Get it? Got it? Good. So, let's break it down. The Obsession gets a Dying Light buff. Do you remember repair debuff? You remember the old Dying Light where you would kill off the Obsession and everybody would get a 33% repair speed penalty debuff? You remember that shit? That number is back on the Obsession after a generator is completed until this totem is cleansed. I've heard a lot of really funny jokes about how good this perk is. The best of which we'll get to in a second. But these can range up to, like, the Obsession is useless. They can still work on the generator, for one. It's 33% less in value, but if there's, like, a generator that's almost done, they can still go over and complete it. They're not worthless. Secondly, a lot of builds in the game right now revolve around tunneling the Obsession. If anybody ever tried that build in my initial thoughts about for the month of what the meta is, we did one of we recommended a build that was actually recommended to me by Wage, where you ran Dead Man Switch with friends till the end. In that build, the Obsession is always being chased. In a build like the endgame build, the Obsession is always being chased. In a build like Play With Your Food, you want to farm stacks off the Obsession more than chasing them, really. You want to use the Obsession to stack farm more than anything else. Now, yes, in Play With Your Food builds, you still want to be going after the Obsession. Like, don't just ignore the Obsession and not hit them because they are the Obsession. That's stupid. In fact, in a Play With Your Food build, the Obsession is who you're strongest against, because if they break chase, you get a haste buff against them. But all in all, the Obsession is somebody that you're going to be chasing a lot, more often than not these days, or at least wanting to have a relative idea of where they are. So, that leaves them fucking not going anywhere near generators. Also, if Swift sees this, that encourages the Obsession to bully you. Like, if a Swift comes in and brings 3 flashlights, and the Obsession has a flashlight and flashbang, what does a 33% repair speed penalty do for you? If the Obsession is not the gen jockey, this perk is worthless. Because it's on one guy. It's on that one person. Now, you could, like, run Game Afoot with it and to swap the Obsession over, but, like, in order to swap the Obsession over, it has to be the guy you've chased the most, aka the person not affected by this perk. Like, you could theoretically change it around a little bit, but, like, again, why would you devote 2 perks for that? Especially when it's once per game. Yes, I said that. And we're getting to that in a second. But, like, so that's all out right away. Like, if it's like, it just encourage the Obsession to be the member of the 4-man Swift that is bullying you and harassing you and trying to blind you and drop flashbangs on you. So, against Swift, its power level significantly decreases, much like a lot of perks in the game actually fucking do. Correct? So, it's not even going to be that good against an actual 4-man Swift or team that can probably just power through the fucking thing anyway. Let's be real. They can just... I'm sure that's an actual counterplay technique, just power through it, because it's not good to begin with. So, there's that. Like, they have so many options to deal with this, it's not even funny. But, for everyone's fun, because everybody's talking about a certain synergy that this has, because of one content creator in the community, Little Ol' Scoot, Scott Junn's at it again, guys. He said this in his video, too, by the way. He didn't just post this on Twitter. He said this in his video. I checked. He even had to go to the comments section and correct himself, because Scott Junn doesn't know how to read perks in Dead by Daylight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I will admit that the perk is poorly worded. I will give you that. The perk is poorly worded. It states, after one generator has been repaired, a random dull totem becomes a hex totem and curses the Obsession. Correct? And it persists until the hex totem is cleansed. Dumbass seemed to think that was multiple times a game. Because after one generator has been repaired, he thought that meant after one generator is repaired and then it gets cleansed, and then after another one gets repaired, the perk reactivates. Okay? Proving that Scott Junn does not care about this game and does not read the perks at all. I, upon reading this perk, immediately knew it was once a game. The entire community didn't, but I did. How did I know that? Because it says after one generator has been repaired, not when a. Look at something like a Bitter Murmur, or a Dark Sense, or a Rancor. Any perk that has a when a generator is completed effect. It says when a generator is completed. This does not say when a generator is completed. It says after one. So the first one. So no, Scott Jund, you dipshit. It is not multiple times a game. Why is that relevant? Because Genius thought you were going to be able to put survivors in a lose-lose situation and actually do pentimento combo plays with this. Like people laughingly thought that Hex Wretched Fate was going to be a killer's new system for gen control. Get the fuck out of here. That's ridiculous. This is not killer's new system for gen control. And if this perk approached anywhere near meta status, people would bring anti-hex stuff, just like they did when Ruin was meta. They would bring anti-hex shit, and they could, again, just power through it. They could just power through it, bro. The meta, if this combo ever became meta, it would just be, the obsession would just nobody would just cleanse the totem. No one would cleanse it. If this combo ever became meta. The obsession would be the one to suffer that effect and spend their time bullying you if they were good. Now again, that would certainly help you beat pub stop trash. That would certainly help you beat babies in the lobbies. Because that's all that we make perks that can do now. Beat babies in the lobbies. That is all Hex Wretched Fate is good for. Pub stopping garbage. Beating trash. Bullying up on the frauds and fake gamers. AQ. Beating up on frauds and fake gamers. That is what Hex Wretched Fate is good for. Beating up on the filthy casuals and the trash that populate this game. Against anybody good, this perk does absolutely fucking nothing. Top tier Swifts will even baton pass. Like, once they see you have this, they will laugh at you and give their bully items to the Obsession. They will give their flashlights to the Obsession, and the Obsession will spend the entire game harassing you. If they're good. And if they're good, of course. If they're shit, they're just gonna, I'm gonna, don't know how to play. You know? If they're shit, that's what they'll do. But if they're good, all this does is get you bullied by anybody good. Absolutely horrendous. This is my least favorite perk of the chapter. Actually, wait, that's a lie. That's a lie. That fucking kick the fucking chest open perk is fucking garbage. Lastly here, we will go over Dracula and watch a little bit of gameplay and go over his add-ons. Again, like I said at the top of the stream here, if I saw this power, if I had saw this power in a leak, I would not have believed it was real. Just by the nature of its complexity. Basically, again, I thought they were going to do a fucking blood meter, something stupid, and he was going to have some sword or something, or it was going to be dumb. But the killer can actually shapeshift. Dracula can shapeshift, just like he does in the book. Incredible, right? I know. They actually, put effort in here. So he's got 3 forms. Vampire form. In his default state, Dracula can use the power Hellfire spell, which creates pillars of flame that travel ahead of him and can be cast across low obstacles. Kind of similar to Punishment of the Damned, but also kind of not because it can't go through the walls. But it can still kind of go over pallets. It looks reactable. It looks like the way that you're going to use that is exactly how you use Punishment. Except it's going to have a lot less utility because you can't just throw it out anywhere like Pyramid Head can. You have to have line of sight of them to actually use it. It looks reactable, so I'm not going to say it's bad because, again, I wouldn't call Punishment of the Damned bad. It's reactable. The survivor has the last say whether they get hit or not. They can react to it and dodge, but I wouldn't call it bad either. Just by the fact that he has that option. And we'll look at it as well. Wolf form. He can actually, again, transform into a wolf. In wolf form, Dracula has access to several abilities that allow for more effective tracking. Movement speed is increased, blood pools and scratch marks are more apparent, and survivors leave a trail of scent orbs behind them. Dracula can collect the scent orbs to charge a powerful pounce attack. I also in my server, it was said that these scent orbs can also kind of give you a haste kind of boost, which is where the increased movement speed seems to come from. Because you'll notice that the wolf does look kind of slow. You seemingly have to get these to get faster, get those scent orbs to get faster. And then lastly, bat form. You can transform into a bat, which again I never thought they'd do. The bat is bigger than I thought it was going to be. Or, like, when you hear transform into a bat, you don't think the bat's going to be as big. But, like, the fact that they even did it is, like, incredible. And lastly, guys, before we go over that, thank fucking God we have a vampire. And not just a vampire, the vampire. Count Dracula. Anyway, while in bat form, Dracula gains undetectable, and he moves faster, ignoring vault points, and can teleport to any vaults within 32 meters. Survivors become invisible, but scratch marks can be seen. So you have, like, a spirit-esque ability, where you can't see the scratch marks, but you can see the scratch marks, but you can't see the survivor, but you can move faster and teleport to vaults. Have fun on getting meat plant with that, by the way. I think they should extend that to 48 meters, just to give him a little bit more board traversal. And again, on meat plant or on other maps with more limited windows, that's going to be rough to actually use. So, let's kind of go over his add-ons. Jax, thankfully, did what he does and provided us with the description there of everything. So, let's go ahead and take a quick look at him. Ugh, I'm still sick, man. Breaking a pallet resets cooldown of Hellfire. This Slit Feather. Could be alright. Doesn't... It's kind of like Ghostface's, is break the pallet to get rid of Stalk. That could be okay. But the thing about Dracula is he's in other forms as well. So if you're running that, it limits... Like, you have to figure out which form actually needs the add-ons. That's like, there's a little bit more to it than Ghostface there. It seems okay for the base form, but is it what you need? Are one of the other forms just so bad that you need to run add-ons on them to compensate? You know? Ruby Circlet decreases the cooldown of Hellfire by 7%. That is trash because the feather exists. The feather is the one you would want to be using for that, so the Ruby Circlet is definitely bad. Clock Tower Gear reduces cooldown of Shapeshift by 10%. That might be okay if he has nothing better. Cerberus Talon increases the reveal distance of Scent Orb by 100%. That's a big buff. So, that either means the Scent Orb has a very bad distance by default, or that's just really good. Winged Boots increases the maximum distance of teleport by 20%. That could be good, considering the fact that I just said he needs I feel like he needs an increased boot. Because he needs an increased teleportation distance, those Winged Boots could be helpful at securing downs and shit like that. That could be a good add-on. Traveler's Hat reduces the post-shapeshift special abilities penalty by 10%. Yes, when you come out of a shapeshift, you don't get to use your abilities for a couple seconds. So we'll have to get a feel for that and see how bad it is. That's only going to be super relevant when transforming into the main form, because you won't be able to use Hellfire right away, which could be a problem depending on where you are. And does Wu Chang have that problem in Identity 5? No, of course not. Moonstone Necklace reduces the size of the tear radius in vampire form by 4 meters. That's very clunky wording to just say reduce the tear radius by 4 meters. Kind of dumb. You don't really need that, I don't think. Magical Ticket increases the maximum speed of teleport by 25%. That could be alright for securing downs and chase with the teleport. The teleport might be the ability that you put emphasis to on the add-ons. We'll see, but that could be good. Again, the Vecna Fly one I was very impressed with, so maybe that could be alright. Blood-Filled Goblet increases the duration of Scent Orbs by 50%. That could be good for the wolf, just because if those orbs go away too quick, you don't get to charge your pounce or move faster. So, having those in play a bit more, especially if they're not in play long base kit, that could help wolf form out a little bit. White Wolf Medallion increases the duration of Killer Instinct effects from loud noises by 40%. I think that might be for Wolf. form, but eh. Sunglasses. Hellfire has one extra pillar, increases charging time by 25%. It says increase charge time by 25%, so that's bad. Pocket watch. Breaking a pallet resets the teleport cooldown. I mean, but you're in bat form. Can you break pallets while you're a bat? I know you can as a wolf, but I haven't seen people break them as a bat yet. I would assume you can. There's no reason that indicates that you can't. But, I don't know, man. But like when you do that, do you come out as a bat still? I don't remember. We'll have to check that when we watch. Killer Doll increases the cooldown reduction of pounce attacks from sent orbs by 50%. That could be good because it says there's a cooldown reduction on the pounce attack when you get the sent orbs. Increasing that could really help wolf form out. So that could be good. Force of Echo increases the tracking precision of sent orbs by 30%. Again, that might be good depending on how the sent orbs actually function. Warwick's Fang reveals the auras of all survivors whose sent orbs you have collected whenever a pounce attack becomes available for 4 seconds. That might be his best add-on right there. Especially for the wolf. Actually, just straight up getting their auras, that's... Whenever a pounce attack becomes available, you just get everyone's aura. That could be good. Right there. Medusa's hair. Passing within 1 meter of a survivor teleporting them causes them to suffer blindness for 10 seconds. That is fucking terrible. That is one of the worst add-ons I've ever read in a long time. Not only is it blindness, it's blindness for like 10 seconds when you do something like incredibly difficult. That's a fucking joke. That could be the rest of the game and it would still be bad. Lapis Lazuli. After teleporting to a window vault, the entity blocks that window for a survivor for 4 seconds. That time is very underwhelming. Like, extremely. I am not impressed with that one at all. It reads very bad on paper. I don't trust that at all. That's fucking worthless, I think. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say I don't trust it. That's worthless. Cube of Zoe. When generator is completed, pillars of hellfire generate around Dracula for 10 seconds. Interesting, but what does that do? Does that decrease your cooldown? Do they have hitboxes? Like, what do they actually do? Is what I want to know about that one. And then the iridescent ring. Hellfire pillars home in on survivors, but they reduce the number of pillars by 1. That could be good. They home in. That could be very solid. It could make up for the fact that the power seems to be reactable. That could be really good. And then lastly, Alucard's shield. When the gates are opened, pillars of hellfire continuously spawn within the exit gates. Could be cute in the endgame build, but again, what does that mean? What does that mean exactly? Can they not get out? Are there hitboxes? Like, what does that mean? Why do I want hellfires spawning at the exit gate? Weird. So, if I were to pick the character up right now, I would run, for my first game, I would run the iridescent ring with the wolf one that reveals the auras. That's what I would do right away. I do have a question about the power that I don't know and can't answer right now, but if somebody does know, please post in the comments. If the wolf has a pounce attack ready and he changes forms, does he have to get the pounce attack back when he transforms into wolf form? Like, does he have to use it before he transforms? That's something to think about. Because if you get a pounce attack as the wolf and then transform into the bat, like, do you lose the pounce attack? That's a very relevant question. Anyway, let's watch a little bit of it. Here's True, the only guy I trust. This was his first game. I did see this live on stream. He's just playing against bots, so nothing good. But I just want you to see the character and how he functions and shit. So I must say the art direction is a very nice touch. The outfit, the outstretched arm, kind of reminds me of Gary Oldman just by the clothes he's wearing as well. I kind of like that. He also has mist around him as he goes about, like when he breaks actions and shit and transforms. Mist comes up, which is one of his forms in the book. So yeah, again, I as a fan of the character feel like the book got a lot more representation than I thought it was going to in a series called Castlevania. But yeah, there's the bat. So again, yeah, you can see it's pretty big. But again, seeing Dracula fly around as a bat, never thought I'd see this in Dead by Daylight. Never thought I'd see this. You can just go through the windows and shit. It's pretty neat. It looks like it's going to be very efficient for traversing the board. Especially since you can just teleport. And like the movement, it looks smooth to control. Honestly. I heard he's a little clunky, but yeah, doesn't surprise me. Okay, so he's getting the thing. So there's the wolf. As you can see, it doesn't really look like it's increased movement speed as much. But when you get a thing, look. See how you get a haste bonus after you get the thing? Look at it. After you get an orb, haste pops up like around right here. So that's your increased movement right there. So that's what they mean by increased movement. See, like that could be disappointing. In fact, it kind of is. It looks like you can do 2 pounces right there. So that's something. When the wolf backs up, this is really relevant. Look how slow it goes. That's actually super relevant. I don't know if the wolf has the red glow or not. I'm assuming it does. But when you back up in wolf form, you go much slower, which is a big problem. So if you have any tiles that require any kind of mind game, you need to be swapping to the normal form. The wolf form should be used to kind of chase. I'm assuming when you like are trying to catch him at a transition. There's the aura reveal from the add-on right there. Yeah, that means the pounce attack just became available. See, the wolf seemed to have had trouble even against the bot at the Killer Shack. Now again, the bots read all your inputs. It seems like so against a real person, there might be some more utility there. But the bots just kind of read everything you do. So they're like impossible to mind game. I know they have like different difficulties or whatever. I want to see him use Hellfire. Here it comes. So you're charging it, holds it, and then you cancel it right there. You do seem to lose speed when you cancel it, because God forbid we just can't have Pyramid Head again. See how he lost some speed there, but he canceled it? That charge time is quick, so like maybe it's not too bad to get that extra thing with the 10%. And there's him getting a hit with it right there. See, it looks like punishment, but it goes over shit, which is worse than going under shit. So they will work for that at least. Very similar counterplay to Nemesis to that. So, I mean, it's something, but at least you can hit people when they're locked in animations and shit. Having it is certainly better than not having it. I hope he transforms into that so we can see the teleport. The wolf might be good for tunneling. There's a hit. She just became broken, so I guess she got that perk active. See, there's the mist, which is a very neat aesthetic there. I am very underwhelmed by the wolf. I'm not gonna lie. It might be good if you like have play with your food on or something. And I'm curious to see if like chase perks synergize with it as well. I wonder if the bat can attack. That's another thing I wonder. A lot of questions here. The range doesn't seem to be that big, but this is the iridescent, which homes in. Okay, got it down there. Again, this is just against bots, and he's just testing and not really trying. I do want to see him use the bat, though, a little bit more. Hopefully he does that here in a minute. So yeah, it's a hit there. Probably with the add-on there, based on the direction that she was going there. He didn't really seem to have line of sight of her when he threw that out. It's likely it homed in on her there. See how he like kind of missed her? I think the add-on covered for him there. That's why I think that Eerie is probably going to be his best thing, just to increase the amount of angles that that it can be good on. Does he ever go into the bat again? It doesn't look like he does. It looks like he does again at the end. Oh wait, no. There he does. That's a bat. Okay, he's gonna turn into the bat again. Okay, what am I missing here? Are these bots? I thought they were bots. See that second pounce? I wish it seems like the wolf needs a buff to where that second pounce is a little bit looser on where you can turn. But so like if you're gonna hit somebody with it, I think you definitely should be hitting that first one. That second one looks a little underwhelming. Especially since hitting something straight like is easier than like having to go around a circle because of the collision. Unless they make it smoother like they did with like Billy. Okay, here comes the bat. Okay, so you stay in bat form. It looks like you can't hit people. It looks like you can only immediately shapeshift. I wonder if you can break a pallet, though. But you stay in bat form. So, what that add-on... I want to look at that add-on again real quick here. There was an add-on I was curious about there. What was that add-on? I'll know it when I see it. Yeah, like, so what's that going to do? You have to immediately, shapeshift again, and then hopefully get them? I don't know. That's terrible. See, if the wolf is rotating around something, and it gets a haste orb with the play with your food stack, that could help you. Those haste orbs could go really well with play with your food, so that could be something good. But you also have Hellfire, which will decrease the offensive, increase the amount of offensive actions you're doing. So the play with your food synergy also isn't there. Like, you might just want to stick to coup de grace on this killer. So that's another thing I didn't consider. And the pounce. So, yeah, it's looking like more and more like you might just want to do coup de grace for a chase perk. Is he going to do the Mori? Doesn't have it yet. See what I mean? He's trying to get to Shaq. I just think the bat needs a little bit up. Just a little bit up. See, if he could do it just a couple seconds earlier, that could save it. Like, that could, help him. That could really, save a gen. Because he's going to Shaq, right? If he could just do it, right now to Shaq, that would be, instead of having to go, that would save him around, that would save him around 5 seconds. That's 5 seconds per bat teleport. That time would add up over the course of the match. No, being in that third person can definitely help your camera out there, but again, not much utility there. Yeah, I think that's a bot mistake there. That pallet should be kicked. So definitely a lot to think about. Definitely a lot to experiment with here. I think that I've seen all about I want to see here. But for about a 50-minute video going over the killer. That's the patch. Overall, the perks suck, but I think the killer has the potential to be okay. I think Dracula could be a solid mid-tier character in the game. I feel like I say that every fucking time they come out. The potential for better than mid-tier is here. If they give him a couple buffs coming into release, he could actually be pretty good. Vecna, for one, I'm actually impressed with. I think Vecna's pretty good. So I think we have something here. They should just expand upon it a little bit. Needless to say, though, I'm getting the hell out of here. I hope I don't gotta make a video tomorrow, because I'm still sick, and I'm sick of making videos. GG's.